As a first-time college student, it is important to gain new experiences, but it is as equally important to prepare for them. So what do you think of the university so far?
Honestly, it's really open. I enjoy the people here. It's great to meet everyone, and I wouldn't think of any other campus I'd rather go to.
Would you say you have any difficulty with the administrations or staffing?
No, actually, the faculty is very nice. They're very welcoming. The only problem is sometimes they can be unclear with some of the information they're trying to bestow upon us, so it's kind of confusing. But otherwise, if you actually ask the right questions, you get the answers you want.
This video will allow seniors the opportunity to present that valuable information to students who are just starting. The statements you're about to hear are to help freshmen better enrich their campus life or help deal with situations such as confusion with administrations. These students who are nearing graduation agree to answer some questions and provide some advice that they feel could help freshmen. Hello, and thank you for making some time to talk to us today. I know you have plenty to deal with right now, because I do. So let's cut to the chase. What we're doing here today is giving some advice to freshmen or anyone who's new to the University of Houston. Alright, so in a nutshell, what would you say your first impression of the university was after your first semester, if you remember?
My first impression was getting to know a lot of people and making a lot of friends from different parts of the world with different backgrounds and various majors because I lived on campus.
It's been great. I definitely feel like I'm getting my money's worth as far as my education goes. The staff here is awesome, and I just had a good time.
Well, I came to U of H as a transfer student, and a lot of my first semester I was struggling to make sure I got the proper courses I needed accredited from bringing transfer credit over from my previous schools.
Would you say you had problems dealing with the administration, staffing, professors?
Yes, I've had some issues with administration and some financial aid issues, professor issues, but the university is pretty good about talking to you and trying to solve your problems.
Not within the digital media department. I mean, the staff are always here to try and help you out, but as far as the administration goes, there has been several issues that I've had with scholarships.
I guess, like I was saying before, from dealing with transferring credits and stuff, since it is a bigger school, then I understand how those kind of things go through a lot more red tape and take longer to deal with. So I guess I just tolerate it.
Advisors on main campus are not they're not familiar enough with our program. So what I suggest to freshmen and sophomores is to go to Miss Kimberly, and she's at the Sugar Land campus, and she's quite familiar with the degree plan, with all the requirements, prereqs, if you need a petition. She's the one that you need to go to because all the advisors on main campus, they somehow might confuse you. They might give you wrong directions and you might fall behind.
As for the experience with courses and teachers here, it definitely varies from every class to class, professor to professor. I think it's the same way in any school.
When I first came here, I received a transfer scholarship, and I was told that if I received the transfer scholarship, my out-of-state tuition would be waived because I was an out-of-state student. But because I started in the fall instead of the spring, I only got half of the scholarship, and my out-of-state fees weren't waived, and I didn't realize that that was the case until maybe a couple weeks before the semester ended. And it just seemed like every person that I talked to was either just feeding me the answers that they thought I wanted or didn't know what they were talking about. And it took a while to finally find somebody that was like, no, that's not the way it works, and actually got me the correct information. There was also, let's see here, at the beginning of last semester, the system went down, I guess, like the Blackboard system or the My UH self-service system. And I had signed up for the emergency deferment plan, and the day that I signed up for that just so happened to be the day that they were having technical issues, and because that never got logged into the system, I got dropped out of all of my classes 2 weeks before the semester started. And this is where it's just like, thank God the professors in the digital media department are so eager to help, because I literally called Dr. Waite. I was in tears, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, it's very important that I take most of my classes online because of my work schedule and everything like that, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And he got me all the contacts of all of the department heads that I needed to get in contact with to get added back into those classes. And so because of him, I was able to get my schedule back on track.
The main question I want to ask is, if you were capable of going back in time to talk to yourself as a freshman, what advice would you give that person?
The first thing that comes to my mind as a senior is that, why am I choosing this major? What am I planning to do with it in the future? So you need to look ahead of time. You can't just choose this major because it's cool. Of course you're going to learn a lot, but later on in future, you need to know how are you going to use it and in which way. Maybe you're not completely sure about it, but you need to have an overall idea of like where do you want to go with it.
I'd want to take more classes each semester from the get-go. My first couple semesters here, I only took 4 classes this semester, and so now in order to graduate on time, I've been having to take 5 to 6 classes a semester. And so if I would have been paying more attention to that earlier on, it would have made my workload a little easier. Also, definitely spending more time on the research papers and the thesis, just because I found that in previous semesters I just kind of put it off and be like, oh, whatever, research paper, and then I'd get to the end of the semester and I just kind of throw it together within 3 or 4 days.
Since I transferred here and I just kind of dilly-dallied in computer science, and then I decided to switch over to digital media just this year, which kind of wasted several semesters of tuition and time. Yeah, I'd probably tell myself earlier to make the change earlier and not waste that time.
As a digital media major, what am I going to do with it in future? It's really important because it's technology and it's changing every year and it's updating every year. So thinking ahead of time means that there are going to be more technologies, there are going to be changes within the program, there are going to be changes in careers and positions at companies. So the best thing is to think ahead of time and make an overall goal or a purpose of coming to this program, pretty much.
Well, I most certainly am going to take that advice to heart. Thank you.